wouldn't be unusual to see these guys go toe-to-toe. Yeah, not having faced a world champion, but with so many incredible results even so.
And look at these achievements: regional champion, Sao Paulo regional champion, world champion, and a Santiago finalist. Over for Emilio there. Santiago regional top 16, Santiago regional champion as a junior, to world's top 64 as a junior as well, and a Santiago regional top 8 junior.
Yeah, but we might be changing that up now
Yep.
and putting the first, well, we will be putting the first senior accolade on that list, but will it be first or second?
We're only a few moments away from finding out, as both players are shuffling up here. You know, you have to just compose yourself now, you know? Just a normal game of Pokemon, as we do see Gabriel is piloting that Miraidon EX archetype, and Emilio playing that Lost Zone Giratina.
Yeah, and both players have interesting lists. I'm very interested to see how this will pan out. I don't think they are kind of standardized by anyone's kind of assumptions of these decks, which is really awesome. It's nice to see when some interesting techs and numerical choices have been made.
Yeah, both lists, there are some interesting stuff that we will get into later. And again, we're seeing that, where instead of in a new format, instead of playing completely new decks, we see old archetypes have improved. You know, Gabriel is playing some new Paradox Rift cards, as well as Emilio. Emilio has some very interesting defenses that could come up in this game. I'm looking at one copy of Avery. Could be really strong against Miraidon, because that will force them to discard Pokemon that they otherwise will want to keep.
Yeah, bench control against Miraidon could be really strong, especially if they end up spreading their energy across those benched Pokemon too thin. It can limit their attack potential.
So it looks like both players have a starting Pokemon in that active. So they're just going to start to put their prize cards down. And you know what that means, Amy? Once the prize cards are down, that means it's not going to be long before our seniors final will start.
For we are a moments away from crowning our senior champion for the 2023 Latin American International Championships. A sweet potential up to 75 minutes they get to play this set out, and turns. I'm certain that we will see some fantastic plays from these two champion players as we see the prize cards go down, and 3 Comfey for Amelia.
3 Comfey.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Oh my goodness. Now, we didn't see Comfey in the junior finals, but here, Comfey is a real good way Amelia will look to get lost cards into the Lost Zone. Having 3 of them prized means Amelia will have access to 1, at least until we start to take some prize cards. So that's an interesting wrinkle that we are going to have to keep our eye on there. Gabriel's prizes didn't seem massively impactful. The 1 copy of Boss could be interesting, but does play 2 others. So let's see how this pans out. And a fun fact about Gabriel, his favorite Pokemon is Zapdos, and he's actually playing it here as well.
Oh, I think it's always great when you get to play your favorite Pokemon in a deck, whereas Emilio is on my side of the Pokemon universe, enjoying Decidueye as their favorite.
And it looks like here our senior finals is about to begin. Looks like Gabriel is starting, has led the copy of Iron Hands EX. And I was like debating whether to play this Ultra Ball, debating what to discard. And it looks like there's a Boss's Orders, I think, and an Iono. This will probably search for that Miraidon EX after a quick prize check. And that Miraidon EX has that fantastic ability Tandem Unit that you can activate once per turn. If you do, you can grab any 2 basic Lightning Pokemon and put them onto your bench.
Yeah, Miraidon the way to victory by putting a nice full bench down early on is essential. Working as an effective battle VIP pass, we are able to use Tandem Unit to put 2 more Pokemon on Gabriel's bench there. Just having a lovely prize check, very important at this stage of the competition. You don't want to not pay attention to your prize cards and then unfortunately think something is in the deck when it isn't. It would be very unfortunate at this stage, so I imagine it is important for them to take their time. Choosing the Mareep and Raikou to begin with, and a good shuffle. I like this. It's a good start. Mareep's adorable, fluffy nature is very electric when it gets going, sharing the energy when it evolves between all of the other Pokemon. Look at him when we become Fluffy there with Dynamotor. So giving Gabriel some real efficiency between that energy usage.
As we do see the switch card there after the tandem unit, going to get that Raikou in the active. And then going to use that fleet-footed, letting you draw a single card whilst it's in the active. And it looks like that was it another Ultra Ball, I think. So it doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot else going on. We could see the Ultra Ball being played to maybe grab a Squawkabilly EX, or we could just look to hold, as you do have a Professor's Research in that hand as well. And it looks like we are going to see a hold, so we're going to see a pass over to Emilio, and it's his first turn. Does have a Battle VIP pass and a Nest Ball, but remember, with 3 Comfrey in the active, we're not going to see, well, we're going to see only 1 of them maximum.
Yeah, 3 Comfrey in the prize cards is not what a Lost Box player wants to see. However, we did see in the juniors finals that there were plenty of opportunities to use other strategies to get cards in the Lost Zone, including using Giratina V itself, although it may be riskier into a more aggressive deck such as Miraidon. Here goes Emilio. Probably, yep, they are separating out those Pokemon and triple checking where they've got to. I imagine they're not best pleased.
I'm sure we've all been there when you're doing your prize check and you're like, hold on a sec, let me just look for that again. Let me make sure I haven't made a mistake. And yep, unfortunately, that is 3 Comfrey's prize there for Emilio. So opt-in, as you mentioned, to start maybe utilizing that Giratina V, maybe use some Abyss Seeking. But the problem is in this matchup, if you're going to try and use Abyss Seeking to try and get cards into your Lost Zone, 220 HP is not a hard number for a Miraidon EX to hit, because that Photon Blaster attack does exactly 220.
And by using this Nest Ball just now and getting another Giratina V, I think it might highlight that Emilio does have no other options in regards to Comfrey. That tell could be quite bad in and of itself.
Yeah, if your opponent can search for 3 basic Pokemon, you see 1 Comfrey, you're immediately thinking, oh, wonder what's panned out there for that to have happened. As we do see the Jet Energy on the Comfrey, getting it into the actives, we are going to see our first use of Flower Selecting, and let's see what those cards are for Emilio. Looks like it's going to be a Super Rod and a basic Psychic Energy.
Let's see if they can do much else. I think it's going to be difficult to safely populate the Lost Zone, which does spring a lot of concern for the pace of game. Emilio's considering the Spiritomb there. That's quite interesting. It turns off the abilities of Pokemon V, so turns off Tandem Unit and Fleet-footed.
Turns off the Fleet-footed, but Tandem Unit is on an EX, so that will still be used.
It's Vs, isn't it? It's just Vs. So gosh.
As we do see an Escape Rope being played there, that's going to put the Miraidon EX for Gabriel in the active, and Emilio promotes the Radiant Greninja. We do see an Electric Generator there off the top, I think, for Gabriel. Electric Generator lets you look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and you can attach up to a maximum of 2 to your benched Lightning Pokemon. I think Gabriel might be debating whether to use a Tandem Unit now, maybe take some Pokemon out of deck to improve the Electric Generator odds, or maybe wants to leave them in the deck for later use. Both seem fine to me. We're going to see Electric Generator, but we see one. I tell you what, I always say, I wouldn't mind 1. If you can get a guaranteed 1 after every Electric Generator, I wouldn't moan.
No, it's still fantastic being able to accelerate energy into a deck that requires such little energy for such large payoff.
As we are going to see that Tandem Unit activation now. So in case you are joining us, this is our Seniors Final here at the Latin International Championship 2024 Seniors Final. Gabriel's deck here is the Miraidon EX archetype. It uses a lot of basic lightning attackers such as Raikou and Iron Hands EX to try and take prizes at a fast rate. Fluffy accelerates energy via Dynamotor. Raichu can discard energy via Dynamic Spark to take big KOs. Emilio's deck, the Giratina V-Star archetype, needs to get cards in the Lost Zone, so you can use Cramorant, for example, to attack for free if you have 4 cards in the Lost Zone. If you have 7 in the Lost Zone, you can use Mirage Gate to accelerate energy, most likely to your Radiant Greninja or your Giratina V-Star, who can do 280 damage with Lost Impact on Auto KO via Star Requiem.
Yeah, lots of very powerful attacks that can definitely deal with all of Gabriel's Pokemon. However, getting the Lost Zone populated is incredibly crucial to keeping the energy consistent using Mirage Gate. So I'm not sure how we'll fare with such a lack of comfort.
As Gabriel does play Professor's Research there to get 7 new cards, does have a Fluffy, does have another electric generator even, and does have an escape rope. We do see that generator being played. That is another one.
Hey, I'd rather 2 sets of 1 than none.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. It's not bad. And to be honest, Gabriel does seem to have a slightly faster pace of play than Emilio right now. So I don't think 1 is concerning.
So we do see like 3 energy in play right now. This is really good for that Righteous coming in that late game. Here we do see that Iron Hands is going to be a problem for Emilio to deal with, because that Ampu very much takes 1 extra prize card if you KO something with the damage from this attack. We do see the escape rope being played as Emilio promotes that Spirit Tomb, and Gabriel's Raikou hits the active.
Yeah, fleet-footed might be an option in the future turns, as Spirit Tomb probably won't be sticking around.
Yeah, that Lightning Rondo, 20 plus 20 for each bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. That's going to have no problems hitting the Spirit Tomb's 60 HP there. As we do that Lightning Rondo for our first prize card taken here in the Seniors Final.
Yeah, and just the Fluffy evolution before that, so that we have some recursion of energy. Emilio's going straight in saying, I need my Pokemon to be bigger. I need them much bigger. So we're going to evolve this one Giratina and go for our first flower selecting. I believe there's a Colress, yep, so the grass type energy is going to see the Lost Zone, so that Emilio can get 4 in the Lost Zone this turn, which makes Cramorant live. Cramorant can attack twice into a Raikou V to KO. It's not the most efficient use of Spit Innocently, but it is certainly better than nothing.
Maybe it's that Cole's Experiment. Let's look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Put 3 in your hand and 2 in the Lost Zone. That, in combination with Comfey, is how Emilio will populate the Lost Zone, so we can start to use that Star Requiem and the Mirage Gates as well. Looks like Emilio's debating whether to use that Concealed cards, which discards an energy from your hand, and then you can draw 2.
Yeah, 3 grass type energy already present on the board, and that is as much as they run. So there's going to have to be some sort of recursion of that energy in the future in order to be able to use Giratina at all.
Looks like Emilio's going to play a Nest Ball here. Can't search for a Comfey, so opting just to fail that search. I don't think you want to put too many Giratina down, because like we mentioned, Miraidon attackers have no problems hitting that higher HP, so you don't want to have too many of them out at one time. Maybe save a bench spot open in case you do take a prize card and it happens to be a Comfey, then you can pop it down immediately and start to use it.
Yeah, I wonder where they're going to go next with this. I feel like Emilio doesn't even have any energy on board right now. There's 2 in the Lost Zone, 2 in the discard pile. And I'm just starting to get a bit concerned of where that's going to kind of come up.
Well, there was 1 on the active now that's been discarded. And we are going to see that Spit Innocently, 110. Cramorant been able to attack for no energy if you have 4 cards in the Lost. And it's now over to Gabriel, who starts to turn off there with a fleet-footed, and I think that grabbed a Bravery Charm, which gives a basic Pokemon it's attached to plus 50 HP. And most of Gabriel's Pokemon, apart from the Fluffy, are all basic, so they can all have 50 HP extra at any given time.
Yeah, being able to assess which one is the best Pokemon to attach that Bravery Charm to is important as well. So biding their time and using their Bravery Charms efficiently is going to be key to success, especially considering they only play 2.
Now, this escape rope's really interesting that Gabriel has played. It forces Emilio to put a Pokemon into active that I don't think he wants there. If the Giratina V star, you don't want to take damage. The Giratina V could actually get KO'd, and the Raging Greninja he's utilizing for draw power. So got to be careful here as Gabriel does promote the Raikou V.
Yeah, I believe it's doing 180 at the moment. Not quite enough to take out the Giratina V. I'll get Shade to fact check that for me. Yeah, we good?
So, but we could see Dynamotor onto Miraidon, and a manual attachment electric generator to then use Photon Blaster, as we do see Arven. Now, this traditionally can find electric generator, and that looks like what Gabriel is doing. Arven supporter card, letting you grab any tool card from your deck and an item. And one good thing about the Miraidon deck is that you can utilize Forest Seal Stone, because you do play a lot of V Pokemon. Forest Seal Stone gives any V Pokemon that's attached to the V Power Star Alchemy, which lets you grab any card from your deck and pop it in your hand. So if Gabriel's feeling really risky, he could grab 2 electric generators here. As we do the first one being played, that's a 2-hit! That's a 2-hit! So now we can see a Dynamotor from the Fluffy to get a third energy onto that Miraidon EX. Photon Blaster, 220 damage. And you know what that does, Amy? That KOs that Giratina V in the active.
It does, and Raikou already has the retreat cost it needs. It only has one retreat cost. So there we see it. Back to the bench. Miraidon driving up into the active spot. Oh, Bravery Charm to save that Raikou from a potential KO from Cramorant later. A Fluffy for the Dynamotor for the discarded energy going on to Iron Hands EX. The Pokeball is all in Gabriel's court right now.
Looks like it opted to swap the Dynamotor to that Raikou V, but yeah, taking 2 prize cards here. Very commanding position, I feel Gabriel said. Does attach that Forest Seal Stone to the Raikou as well. So you will have the option to start Alchemy at any time. And bear in mind, you can use Star Alchemy even if there is a path to the peak in play.
Yeah, it's looking a little dicey now. There we go. Oh, we go for the tandem unit. Nice. Yep, just get an extra Pokemon on the board. It certainly isn't a bad thing, especially considering Raikou's damage output is based on how many Pokemon each player has on the bench for Lightning Rondo. And getting another Miraidon just in case is always valuable.
As Gabriel does take 2 prize cards, and you know, is down to 3 prize cards taken. That could be 2 more KOs for Gabriel to win this game 1. Emilio starts to turn off here by promoting Comfey, uses Flower Selecting. I think it was a switch and something else. Bear in mind, Emilio does play Roxanne. Roxanne is now live.
1 Giratina V-Star into the Lost Zone is also quite concerning. They play 3 total. We'll have to see if it impacts play. If it lost impacts play.
Yeah, I thought you'd noticed that.
Too late. That was just a second too late, but we got it. And we're going in with the first switch card into Cramorant. I think it might be all they can do. Yep, Path Prey and Spit Innocently.
Oh, we're going to see a Boss's Orders plus Path.
On Fluffies, so limiting the amount of electric type energy that can come back from the discard pile.
That's interesting because we've seen, what, 3 electric generators being played now. So without Dynamotor, Gabriel might struggle to get energy into play. We'll probably have to try and re-establish the Fluffy at some point. And we do see an immediate stadium replacement. That Beach Court gives every basic Pokemon in play 1 less retreat cost. We see a Fleet-Footed. That grabbed another Beach Court, I believe. And let's see what Gabriel does do. Now, interesting that now that Gabriel does have a bench spot open, Raichu can maybe become a factor in this game. That Dynamic Spark does 60 for each allowed the energy you choose to discard from all your Pokemon. A fantastic late game option that has no problems dealing with Giratina V-Star.
Yeah, and although Gabriel's board looks really strong, the one thing that I'm noticing is that now Iron Hands is incredibly limited now that we don't have a Fluffy.
Yep. And with 3 electric generators being used as well. Like Gabriel does retreat to use a second Fleet-Footed there on that Raikou V in the active, which bear in mind does have damage on it. So does have the Bravery Charm. It does have an effective 250 HP. And it looks like Gabriel does have a Mareep in hand, debating whether to pop it into play or not. Nope, there it goes.
I like that.
I think the Dynamotor is so important for this deck to function. Or as we start to see the Iron Hands get powered up. That amp you very much attack for 4 energy, 120 damage. If you knock out a Pokemon from damage from this attack, take an extra prize card. Bear in mind, if you knock out a 2 prize Pokemon with that attack, you take 3 prize cards as well.
Yeah, so they're threatening the Iron Hands there by saying, okay, here is 1 energy and a Mareep.
Yep.
That's clearly going to be happening. It is a sign to their opponent that if they don't deal with the potential threat on board, then it's going to happen. We're going to see an amp you very much.
And what that sort of does is it forces Emilio to really make Sableye very risky. Because at any point, if you have Sableye in the active, amp you very much takes 2 prize cards, and that would close out this game 1. It is over to Emilio, who starts to turn off now with a Flower Selecting, has a Mirage getting a Water Energy, I believe. And Emilio's energy is, I think, becoming a limited resource here, as we do see 2 already in the Lost Zone. We do see a Concealed Cards. That's now 3 in the discard pile, so I have to keep an eye on that as you draw 2 with Concealed Cards, Nest Ball, and a Colress's Experiment. I wonder if Emilio will look to play the Roxanne at some point. But I guess with only 6 in the Lost Zone, Can't use Mirage Gate yet. I mean, Roxanne's a fantastic combat card. You can only play it if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, but then each player shuffles their deck. Your opponent will get 2 cards, and you get 6.
Onto the nest ball, and I'm not really sure what Emilio's choices are here. We have Sableye, they are going to bench it, thinning the deck a little bit more. If Emilio can start to take KOs, they can start to potentially have those comfy for later. Although 6 in the Lost Zone is still quite impressive, considering that they don't run a lot of other cards that, other than Colrez and the Giratina V itself, that can get anything into the Lost Zone. For example, they don't play any Lost Vacuum, which can always be helpful in a bit of acceleration. But other than that, it's just time to use Roxanne to disrupt Gabriel's hand and hope that the 2 cards that are given aren't that great.
Yeah, that Roxanne, a fantastic combat card there for Giratina. Roxanne Path. And look, look over the shoulder. Yeah. Gabriel did get a Professor's Research off the Roxanne to 2. I love that. Over to Emilio. They have the 6 cards. It's a really interesting scenario for Emilio because hasn't got to that magic 7 cards in the Lost Zone yet. So that means that Mirage Gate isn't live. So she's really struggling to find attackers here. Like, what can you do? You can use Scratch with Sableye. That's not going to get anything done. Could maybe use Abyss Seeking, but then Gabriel has no problems hitting 220. So we are going to see a free retreat of the Comfey thanks to Gabriel's Beach Court. And I don't know what Emilio promotes. It's going to look like it's going to be the Radiant Greninja, maybe?
Maybe.
But you know
Did they take the energy off that Comfey, actually? I can't see it behind it.
I don't think it ever had an energy on.
Oh, did it not?
We do see a path to the peak. So that's going to turn off Rulebox Pokemon abilities. Let's see what Gabriel can do. Gabriel can use Star Alchemy to grab a boss's orders, I believe. And then you can retreat the Raikou and then KO that bench Giratina V. And that will wrap up this game 1.
Oh my goodness, that was absolutely lightning. Look at how they fed. Emilio had a really, really hard start there with all those Comfey in the discard pile. I reckon game 2 is going to go quite different.
Yeah, when you're playing a Lost Zone deck and you have 3 Comfey pros without playing a heavy ball, it's going to be a very hard path to victory, and unfortunately Emilio couldn't quite navigate it. As we look at this replay here, Gabriel, I think, Miraidon was doing Miraidon things. It was immediately off to the races, you know. Fleet-footed was drawing cards right when his energy was flying around everywhere as well. And I give full credit to Emilio. When you prize 3 Comfey, you have to start trying to navigate your way out of it in very unique ways. And Gabriel, you know, those consistent extra energy from the electric generator just meant cards like the Miraidon could become a factor, the Raikou could become a factor, and Dynamo was accelerate energy as well.
Yeah, Emilio just didn't really get off the starting line much, did they? Unfortunately, with the Lost Zone being so imperative to their line of play, even the pass of the peak wasn't enough to slow Gabriel down.
I guess if you were to describe the scenario to any Pokemon player, say, how many games would you win if you're a Lost Zone player, if you only have 6 cards in the Lost Zone by the end? They're going to say, well, not many, to be honest with you. So I think Emilio still has plenty to work with moving through into this game 2. But full credit to Gabriel, still had to close that game out and capitalise. There was that Roxanne to 2 with the Beach Court and the Professor's Research. Didn't even need the research in the end. So Star Alchemy grabbed the boss per game. Both players shuffle up here for our game 2.
Yeah, leaving Star Alchemy open until the end of the game, incredibly clever, making sure that that might be the thing that gets them to close out that game for the victory for the first game in our best of 3 for the seniors final of this Latin American Pokemon International Championships.
I want to say a massive shout out to the crowd here. The crowd have been amazing here at LAIC. Make some noise now for game 2 of the senior finals. Gabriel, our current world champion, 1 game away from becoming an international champion. Emilio, in his first proper senior season, going to try and do everything he can to stop that happening.
Yeah, we're going to see an absolutely explosive game. Both of these decks are known for their incredibly powerful outputs of damage, and I'm certain that we're going to see some surprises this time. Now these prize cards look a lot better, don't they, Shay?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything really too impactful. Emilio has 3 basic energy in the prize cards, which could come back to bite him, but let's see how that pans out. I think And we have started the game. Emilio has led a Giratina V, has a path to the peak. No Battle VIP pass, though. And we know what Miraidon can do. There is a world in which this Giratina V does get carried. It would require some switching cards. It would require some electric generators and most likely a Photon Blaster from Miraidon EX. That path to the peak from Emilio might save him.
Maybe, but we still start with a Nest Ball, so Miraidon EX is still an option, and a very strong one at that, as you mentioned. Path to the Peak turning off all abilities from Pokemon with a rule box.
So let's see what's in Gabriel's hand. Oh, I don't think I saw much in the hand, actually. I saw an Ultra Ball. I saw a couple Energy. But while that Path to the Peak is down, remember, Tandem Unit will not be an option. That would most likely traditionally be the first target for a Miraidon deck here in this scenario. But instead, Gabriel going for the Raikou V.
Yeah, Gabriel starting the Iron Hands isn't super either, with a really tough retreat cost of 4.
And yeah, I think Gabriel hasn't got a lot to do with his hand. He does have a copy of Boss's orders to maybe try and delay Emilio, stop using Abyss Seeking and get cards into the Lost Zone via that way. But I think Gabriel debating whether to play that Boss or not. Boss's orders letting you swap your opponent's active with one of their bench Pokemon of your choice.
Yeah, I'm not sure where they can go here. I think it might be a slightly slow start for both players, which is very unusual of Lightning type decks. They've decided to boss. The Sableye has a retreat cost of 1, but is less useful. And Giratina V comes in with a Jet Energy, allowing them to move their bench Pokemon to the active when it is attached.
I think Emilio's debating whether to play that Iona, and I probably wouldn't play it. And instead going for that Abyss Seeking. I love this play. Abyss Seeking lets you look at the top 4 cards of your deck, put 2 in the Lost Zone and 2 in your hand. You know, that's another way of getting cards into the Lost Zone without playing that Iona to give Gabriel a new hand. Because Emilio knows Gabriel is working with not a lot. Top deck's a basic Lightning Energy, I believe.
Another!
So not a lot. It could just be an attach and a pass.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the one drawback of running a lot of energy.
Uh-oh. This could start to get out of hand. If we see a Grass Energy, we have a V-Star in hand. We could see a Lost Impact. Do we see it? Oh, not quite.
Not yet, but there is still potential. What else was in the hand? Was there any way of removing the path for... No. Oh, my goodness. I was thinking the concealed cards, but Path is preventing it, so...
I guess there's a world
in with a Nest Ball for a Comfey?
Yeah, Nest Ball for a Comfey. I might have saw a switch card. So
I like this. Emilio's counting energy. That is perfection, especially when there's some in the prize cards.
I think this is probably a prize check as well. I think this is Emilio's first deck search of the game. So they're going to target a Giratina V. And it's going to shuffle. As another Nest Ball, this one could be targeting the Cramorant. So we could see a switch and maybe a Spit Innocently, because Emilio does have 4 in the Lost Zone. Spit Innocently, 110 damage for 3 energy normally, but with Lost Provisions, you can reduce all energy attack cost if you have 4 in the Lost Zone. We are just going to see an Abyss Seeking again. Look at top 4, keep 2, Lost Zone 2. And you know what that means? That means we're marching towards those Mirage Gates being able to be played.
Yeah, 6 in the Lost Zone now is really strong. Emilio has noticed a gap, a chink in the armor of Gabriel's deck, where they've noticed that Gabriel isn't going very far right now on their Miraidon. So why not take the time to Abyss Seeking, populate the Lost Zone, and it will benefit them late game.
As we do kick it over to Gabriel, there's Ultra Ball for Miraidon. I would imagine going to attach an energy. Do we see anything else for Gabriel to play? Does have a Professor's Research. That was off the top. An empty hand research here in this game too. Can Gabriel get back into this game? Discarding his hand to draw 7. What do we see? I see a switch card, so we could see a Lightning Wonder at the very least. Don't see any electric generators though.
No. Choosing to bench the Mew EX, presumably for restart. They don't want to end up with a similar situation, but it can also use genome hacking. I won't be able to use any of those Lost Zone specific attacks, though.
Not yet, at the very least. And I guess at the very least, it gives you extra damage for that Lightning Rondo there. Looks like 140 and over to Emilio. Let's see what he can manufacture. Currently has 6 cards in the loss. I don't see a Colress, actually. I don't think I see any switching cards either, so we might not be able to get to that 7. At least not now.
Oh no, that would be not fantastic. I mean, the risk could be that you manually retreat the Giratina V into a Comfey and then hope that the flower selecting gets you something you don't want plus a switch option to then re-bench the Comfey. But they have decided to evolve the Giratina V on the bench into Giratina V-Star rather than the damaged active Pokemon.
It looks like we might have to see that Iono being played now as we see a Psychic Energy attached to the bench. Giratina V-Star. Emilio was debating that Iono as we do see it play. Iono forces both players to shuffle their deck. Shuffle their hand, I should say, put it to the bottom of their deck, and then they draw 1 card for each prize card they haven't taken.
Yeah, we've had a lot of cards in format that have done just exactly that and shuffle into the deck. And I know when Iono came out, it was a common mistake by players, but I think everyone has pretty much sussed it out now to remember to Iono to the bottom of the deck.
As we do see, like you mentioned, Emilio's going to pay retreat after that Iono. Didn't actually draw any switching options there, so forced to pay retreat into the Comfey, or maybe.
Yeah, I think it's really important that they get up to that next magical number of 7 into the loss. So,
fantastic. So now we can use that switch card to maybe end the turn now with a Spit Innocently. Mirage Gates are currently live. We could see a lost impact here.
Yes! Giratina V-Star has 3 energy attached of all differing types, which is exactly what it needs. We're going in the switch card. And here we go for the first knockout of Game 2 of our Seniors Finals.
That's Emilio's first use there of Giratina V-Star. Going to try everything he can to win this game. That was a well-trained Comfey there fighting that switch card. Unlocked that turn there for Emilio. Gets on the board, and Gabriel still has to navigate this path to the peak. Oh, as he immediately does, gets that Beach Core in play. And let's see what he can do. Do you see an Ultra Ball? We see a DTE in the hand. I don't see a way to draw cards, though, outside of that restart ability from UEX.
No, and that would require thinning the hand because you must have fewer than 3 cards because you draw up to 3 with restart. Now, Gabriel does have the option of thinning their hand a little bit. They can play a lot of these cards. It's not like their hand is completely clogged, but playing them and sequencing this hand and this turn properly will be essential to their success.
As we do see the tandem unit being used at Maraudon, I'm going to thin the deck. Looks like I'm going to grab a Mareep and debating whether to grab something else. Could be another Maraudon, could be a Raikou. Looks like could be the Zapdos even. Could be any of those targets. Just debating what to grab.
Yeah, I'm pleased that Gabriel was actually able to take a proper turn here, bumping that path scenario. They do play 3 beach courts, so they do have a fair amount in the deck, especially when they're able to do a little bit of searching and a lot of digging. I feel like they there's a fair chance that they're able to get that when they need it.
So it looks like we are going to see an Ultra Ball being played as well. And let's see what this search is here. But we're going to see, yeah. So I think with this failed search, that means Gabriel is going to look to try and draw some cards via restart from that Mew EX, which lets you draw up to until you have 3 cards in your hand. So for that to work, we have to see a bench Raikou. We might have to see that DTE getting attached. Oh, and we can see that Escape Rope being played as well. Escape Rope forces your opponent to switch directly with a bench Pokemon, and you have to switch as well.
And straight into the breakout. All first energy on Iron Hands. And then we're going the restart for the full 3 cards.
We're going to see the Fleet-Footed as well, though. I don't think those cards are particularly helpful. Flaffy, not particularly helpful either. Can't use Squawkabilly. Can't use Flaffy. Can't use the boss.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, you could use the boss, but not the supporter you really want right now.
No, I feel like holding on to the boss for Amp very much potential, and also just KOing a 2-prize Pokemon is the better way of staying ahead in this matchup when Gabriel is currently on the back Fleet-Foot.
Yeah, let's see what Gabriel really wants to try and get some energy into play that turn, but Arven to find Electric Generator could have been really nice, or maybe Professor's Research would have been the dream. Hasn't drawn any of them though, so it's going to be forced to adopt a defensive turn. And we could just see a pass as Gabriel opted not to play anything. As we do know, so we see a free retreat on that Raikou thanks to the Beach Court. And maybe Gabriel. No,
No,
not the
yeah,
series.
yeah. I like that decision. I think Mareep isn't. I don't think it's wise to leave Mareep in the active in this instance.
So let's see what Emilio does. Does actually draw a Jet Energy off that flower selecting now. So can get that Giratina V-Star into the active if he likes. Does attach a Grass Energy. Does have 8 cards in the Lost Zone right now. Does have a Boss's
Oh
Orders.
my goodness.
We need another energy to use Lost Impact, though. We're not at 10 in the Lost Zone yet. Oh,
Don't know if we're at 10 in the Lost Zone.
Can we might have to get a confirmation?
We might have to get confirmation. It might be wrong on our screen, but I think we need a count of the Lost Zone.
Okay, well, let's just assume that the Lost Zone counter is wrong, and it is 10. And the Star Recruiter will take the 2 prize cards, and it goes over to Gabriel's turn. Does promote a Raikou V, and I'm going to use a Fleet-Footed as well. Oh no, I think we have had confirmation. Also, it is 10 cards in the Lost Zone, so that Star Requiem is A-OK, and Emilio marches towards victory.
Yeah, that's what we like to see. Effective use of energy, allowing Emilio to use their V-Star and just get rid of a Pokemon, send whatever they fancy to the discard pile.
And this is where it starts to get really out of hand for Gabriel, because Emilio's only at 2 prize cards. He can just evolve into a Giratina V-Star. He even use Sableye a couple times, and Gabriel starts a full 6. And we do see an Arven there from Gabriel, going to grab a Forest Sealstone, an Electric Generator, and an immediate use of the Star Alchemy to grab any card from his deck.
Yeah, I imagine Gabriel's going to want to take a large KO here. However, they might be able to manufacture a way in which Iron Hands might be able to take the knockout on the Sableye. I feel like that's probably the ideal circumstance, although maybe with a Bravery Charm.
Yeah, Bravery Charm would not quite push you out of range, actually, because Lost Impact still is 280.
Oh, it's 280,
it doesn't quite get you there. It's actually a really scary scenario. Gabriel might have to just try and eject this Giratina V-Star via that Raichu, that Dynamic Spark, which does 60 for each Lightning Energy you choose this guy. Electric Generator here. We need to see a hit. And it looks like we get 2.
That's what we're talking about. Lovely. Yes, you're quite right. Raichu is one of the bigger attackers because it does its damage scales with Dynamic Spark. Got to know your 6 times table well for this one, folks.
So I think with this Dynamotor, this Raichu Dynamic Spark will be able to take the KO on this Giratina. 3 retreat cost on the Raikou, thanks to Beach Court. And Dynamic Spark 60 for each Lightning Energy you choose to discard. So I think if Gabriel discards them all that are in play, it will do enough damage to KO that Giratina V-Star. And Gabriel finally gets on the board, taking 2 prize cards.
There we go. Now we're in it to win it. Let's see if Emilio can respond. So
all Emilio needs to do here is announce Lost Impact, can immediately win. Does have a Mirage Gate in hand. Does have it's a Giratina V, not a Giratina V-Star. I'm kind of concerned about how much energy Emilio has. I can see at least 3 in the discard pile, and I can see at least 3 in the Lost Zone. We are going to see a Nest Ball. Let's see what options are available. There's a Water, there's a Grass, there is no Psychic.
But there is a Giratina V-Star, and that's also very important.
That as well. I mean, Emilio doesn't have to immediately win this turn. He is still 2 prize cards up. I think a Lost Mine here could be really impactful. Just try and announce Lost Mine twice. That would get you there. And it's definitely Emilio's game to lose here, as we do see the Chorus Experiment. Look at top 5, grab 3. Let's see what these are.
Hopefully they might be the cards
we need. Super Rod! I think that gets you there, right? I think that gets you there. Because you can evolve into Giratina V-Star, Mirage Gate twice, as long as you can get that Giratina V-Star into the active. Lost Impact will KO
Let's
this
have a look.
Raichu V.
Here we go. Because you can double Mirage Gate, because you could put 1 on the Comfort as well.
Was there even a Jet Energy in hand? I feel that
Possibly,
might have even been an option.
Easier.
Let's have a look. Show us your hand, Amelia.
Let's see it.
There's a Jet Energy!
There it is!
Lost Impact for game here. Game 2 goes to Emilio. We're going to a game 3 here in the finals.
You can hear the crowd is absolutely going wild for these two. Let's roll into game 3.
Wow! What a turn of events that was. Emilio straight back into the driver's seat saying, hold on, wait a minute. I'm pretty good at this game as well. I'm going to force a game 3. Now we're essentially playing a best of 1 here in this International Championship final. What a game!
It is down to the wire. It's anyone's game. We can see our senior finale. Oh, we got 1 game left. I just can't believe it. I'm so excited.
What a masterclass there. That Giratina V-Star just proving so awkward for the Miraidon deck to deal with. And when it can just announce Lost Impact and Star Requiem and just knock out whatever is in its way, Emilio just marched his way to victory. There we saw the boss's orders turn there, was denying any Ampu very much. The Star Requiem, the auto KO. Gabriel tried his best to stabilize, did have that massive dynamic spark turn right at the end, did everything he needed to do. Emilio didn't even have to win that turn, still had turns to play with, but Emilio said, nope, I'm going to close the door right now with this real strong Chorus here. Found all the pieces Emilio needed to close this game out.
It was just an explosive play at the end there. Getting the Giratina V-Star, very cautious with that energy attaching.
Yep.
I love to see it, especially with this deck. I'm glad that it's clear both of them got plenty of sleep.
And we got plenty of time as well. 37 minutes to complete this game. Looks like Gabriel does have a starting Pokemon, so can put his prize cards down. Emilio debating, looking at his starting hand. We can hear the crowd cheering on both players here. What we like to see. Looking at the prize cards, Gabriel, 2 copies of Beach Court could be impactful actually. Emilio is a part of the peak deck. 1 copy of Flaffy, 1 copy of DTE, and 1 copy of Arven as well.
Although that being said, Miraidon quite traditionally also runs Path to the Peak. There are variants of Miraidon which can play it as well. So I think it is commonly known that a lot of the time it doesn't impact it too much in the late game. It's the early game where it can get fishy.
And looks like Emilio has led that 1 copy of Spirit Tomb. Fettered in Misfortune makes it so all basic V Pokemon in play have no abilities. So that means Gabriel's Raikou V doesn't have that fleet-footed ability anymore. So it looks like Gabriel is going to start the turn off here with an Ultra Ball, discarding an Arven and an Escape Rope, I imagine, to not only prize check, but to grab that Miraidon EX, start using Tandem Unit, and pop plate the bench.
Gabriel certainly seems in the driving seat with their Miraidon for this one. Tandem Unit populating their bench nice and early, bringing a strong presence to game 3, building the tension.
Wow, it's all going down to a game 3 here in the pod. You can't ask for a better finish than this. So that Gabriel is just trying to work out what copies of what are in the prize cards, I should say. Does have Mareep in hand, does have a Forest Seal Stone in hand as well. So the hand doesn't look traditionally that good, but the Forest Seal Stone is a get out of jail free card line to use. Grab any card from your deck on a V-Star power.
Here we are, the decisions are being made. We're going to be taking Iron Hands EX and a Raikou V.
Iron Hands, I haven't actually seen that been a factor here, but that Ampu very much can be dangerous. 120 damage, and then if you knock out a Pokemon with damage from this attack, you take an extra prize card, as we do see a Forest Seal Stone attached to the active Raikou V, and we are going to see that Star Alchemy immediately being used.
And they're taking the Squawkabilly! We love it! Allowing you to squawk and seize, discard your hand and draw a fresh 6 cards. However, with a very harsh limitation of only being able to use it during your first turn. And I've got to say, Shay, this is my favorite art of the Squawkabilly card. It's so cute.
I love everything about the Squawkabilly card. Both things you can announce as a caster. Squawk and Seize is really fun to say, and so is Motivate, I feel. As we do see the energy attached to Raikou V on the bench, we're going to see a free retreat thanks to that Beach Court, and then we're most likely going to see a pass.
And there it is.
So now it is over to Amelia.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, no, that hand is entirely energy.
There's
the
no
top deck was the Giratina. The Sableye, it looks like we're going for, oh my gosh.
Abyss Seeking.
Ah, we're Abyss seeking. I hope that they seek the Abyss well enough. There's more energy. No.
Just Pokemon and energy. Gabriel could go off to the races here and even KO this Giratina. Would require a Photon Blast from Miraidon. Not the hardest thing in the world to do when you have got Mareep. We are going to see an Ultra Ball. I imagine it's going to find a Dynamo or Flaffy. That will let you get 1 energy from your discard pile.
Here it is.
There it is. So, this is the turn for Gabriel. Will attach 1 energy from the discard pile. Can attach 1 from hand. That means an electric generator would be needed to get to that Photon Blaster. Can Gabriel do it?
I'm not sure, but I'm in two minds. I don't know if I want to see the play because I'd love to see Emilio bounce back from this.
Gabriel, and you know what? I love this play.
I'm
basically
so glad.
saying if I hit this turn, I pretty much win. But if you don't miss it, I don't see an electric generator.
Ooh.
I don't see one.
Oh, look at that hand. That's so much better for Emilio. My goodness.
Well, that's the risk of going for this play.
That was so good.
If you go for the Iono, you give your opponent a new hand, and if you miss, you're not in a good way.
And okay, going for, we're going for it. Yeehaw, Lightning Rondo time.
Wow, what a fast turn that was. The pendulum of power might be swinging. What has Emilio got? Has a new hand of 6 and then gets a top deck as well.
We're not stuck with a bunch of energy in hand anymore. Here comes Radiant Greninja, a second Giratina V. We could go ahead and concealed cards, that psychic energy. Unfortunately, the hand is still a little bit clogged, but absolutely going for the Colress first, putting 2 more Pokemon cards into the Lost Zone. That does put Cramorant live, so I wonder whether it'll be the decision for this one, but that's a pretty stacked Colress.
Yeah, pretty good, all things considered. The hand isn't traditionally that great. I see Giratina V and I see 2 Battle VIP pass, so definitely can't be using them. It looks like Switch cards. I can't quite make up what that other card was, has been sent to the Lost Zone. We do see the Cramorant though, so we could be seeing that spit innocently now because that is live. We are going to see a concealed card. The judge there moves it, so it looks like it was, is that a Jet Energy, I think that was? Oh no, it's a Super Rod that was in the Lost Zone from the Colress.
Here we go, and
looks like Emilio just debating what to do. I think we did see a concealed card. That hand is massive.
It's huge, but it's not providing many results in regards to actually what Emilio would like to see right now.
I think we might just have to see an escape rope or that switch card to heal the damage, well, heal some damage from this Giratina V, and then end the turn with a spit innocently, 110 damage. Not a bad number by any means.
No, not at all. And it's good to get damage on the board early if you can, especially because of Gabriel's intimidating board presence.
All right. There is a world in which we see an Ampere very much this turn. We all know that the electric generators are still in deck. We have Dynamotor a lot. Wow, still no generators.
Oh my goodness.
What's going on?
They're hiding. What's going on? The generators are more useful in the early game than the late game when you've seen your energy, but even then,
oh my goodness! Get a double turbo energy. We're going to see an Ampere very much. And thanks to weakness, that will still be a KO, meaning Gabriel will take 2 prize cards off this Cramorant. The hand isn't looking very good, but when you take 2 prize cards off a 1 prize Pokemon,
let's say it together, Shay,
and you very much! Get the hands going, let's go! All right, over to Emilio now. Let's see what he can cook up. Only has 4 cards in the Lost Zone. Has got a little bit of work if he wants to try and use that Giratina V Star. Colress Experiment is a fantastic way to start off your turn. Mirage Gate, Path to the Peak, Energy, Colress, and an Iono. We need to see some Comfey. We need to see some switching cards to get cards in that Lost Zone.
That's 6 in the Lost Zone. We're so close yet so far to that magic number of 7 for Mirage Gate to be live.
It might have to be a concealed card to try and get a Comfey. That's going to be the only way to get to that 7. There is no Lost Vacuum. Concealed cards could be a very important concealed card for Emilio.
Here we go. What are we getting?
Was it Giratina V-Star and was that?
I didn't see. I didn't quite catch it. But I didn't think it was quite, no, it looked like a Pass to the Peak potentially. Doesn't look like there's much joy there, sadly. Another Giratina V for the bench. Oh my goodness. This isn't looking particularly lovely because if they can't respond, we're going to see another amp.
We might have to see a path to the peak, and we might even see a fade out from the Spirit Tombs to get it out the active and promote something that that the Ampu very much can't KO. We're going to see an escape rope instead.
I suppose from Gabriel's kind of position, you might just be happy promoting the Raikau just because it has a retreat. Oh, they have a beach court in hand.
Has a beach court, so.
Oh my goodness. This could be it all wrapped up.
So it looks like.
I think they're having a chat potentially.
Yeah, if they're having a chat about something or other. Not 100% sure what. I currently stand, we do see a path to the peak in play, and we do see an escape rope being used as well. And looks like it's discussing something. And so let's have a look. So if you're off on the back of this escape rope, you probably, if you're Gabriel, promote any basic Pokemon of one retreat. You do have the beach court. There is a world, Amy, you know, in which if Gabriel can find a boss, can actually boss that Giratina V on the bench there and take 3 prize cards. Thank you very much.
My goodness gracious, you're right.
I mean, the hand doesn't support it yet. There isn't any drawing cards in that hand. It's a lot of energy.
And Gabriel doesn't have any natural card draw in their deck.
Well, I guess if you replace the Path to the Peak with the Beach Court, you have Fleet-Footed available. That
is ever so true. Would you want to take the risk of switching the Iron Hands out of the active, though, when it's got such a domineering presence, unless the escape-roped Pokemon ends up being the Giratina V-Star, I suppose?
Yeah, I guess you kind of have to, it's intriguing to see what Gabriel would promote, because... yeah, the Greninja's Lightning Weak, so you can't promote that. It'd have to be either, even a Giratina V on that sort of left-hand side could get KO'd via a Photon Blaster. So our match is in review. We have our table judges. They're doing a fantastic job all day so far. So whatever is happening, I'm sure they're going to handle it masterfully. But wow, this is just, what a game 3. There's energy flying everywhere, damage flying everywhere. Oh my goodness, you guys can't see me right now, but wow, I am bushed.
Oh, honestly though, our judge team and professors have been working tirelessly for the last 3 days, and they're still going strong. So massive thank you to all of our staff and judge team for helping us to bring you all the action. We like to see that we're always being looked after by them.
Yep, because without all the staff, these events wouldn't run. That's the crowd doing the Ampu very much. Hands, Iron Hands, let's go. Yeah, what an impactful card that we've seen it used many a times on the stream. Plenty of fans supporting the players as well. That Ampu very much. And it's a real interesting thing seeing the use of double turbo energy in the Miraidon deck, because the only card that makes use of double turbo energy, well, apart from retreating, is the Iron Hand. But when you can just pluck out that DT out of nowhere, it turns that 4 energy attack into just a DT and 2 lightning, much more manageable.
Yeah, I didn't even see the DTE in their hand, so when it came out, my heart hit the fan. Oh my goodness, it was exhilarating. Absolutely awesome to see that kind of action here for the Pokemon TCG. It just goes to show how much excitement we can have from a simple trading card game.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure about you, but when I saw the hand, because that is a golden copy of double turbo energy, I think at a glance I just thought it was a lightning energy.
Yeah.
And then when Gabriel flung it down, I was like, oh my goodness, that actually is a double turbo energy. Now, bear in mind that double turbo energy will reduce damage off the Ampu very much from 120 down to 100, so we do have to keep that in mind moving forward.
Yeah, looks like the players are just contemplating their next few turns as well, which is incredibly important to be 2 steps ahead.
Always got to be 2 steps ahead, thinking ahead, and that's something that I think can separate. We see some more Iron Hands action from the crowd. Let's go. Yeah, always to get many steps ahead. That's, I think, one thing that separates, you know, good players from great players. Being able to navigate future turns, thinking, right, my opponent's discarded this, I can capitalize with that. And, you know, this in the prize card, so I have to do that. Let's go. Make some noise, crowd. Come on. Game 3 here in the international finals. Let's go. Show us those hands.
I love that Iron Hands has given us this new fan favorite, and we get to enjoy it with you guys. Thank you so much for coming today, showing up for the finals for the juniors and seniors. We're so exhilarated to see so many of you here. and enjoying your day with us as well. Whether you're watching at home or whether you're here in the hall, everyone seems to be bright and bustling. Let's see those iron hands, everybody.
We absolutely love seeing the crowd get involved. Let's play a little game when the camera comes back to you guys. Let's see how many iron hands we can all get in the air at the same time. Come on, how many iron hands can we get involved? I want to see all those hands in the air when possible.
I wonder if we can get more iron hands in the crowd than were played in the tournament over this weekend.
There's our challenge. There's our challenge. And bear in mind the storylines for both our players. Gabriel, our current world champion, looking to be a regional champion, a world champion, and an international champion all at the same time. And for Emilio in his first proper confidence season. Let's get those iron hands in the sky, everyone. Come on, get them up. Yeah, let's go. Gee, love to see that. And then, yeah, for Emilio, his first proper senior season, finds himself in an international final as well.
How exciting! They must be so nervous. Yeah! Oh, the crowd is just cheering these guys on so much. Let's see the support for these players. They've worked so hard to get here.
Absolutely love getting the crowd involved. Something I love about these international events, you get much more of a crowd, a much bigger stage. Everyone can cheer along their favorite players, their friends, their people from the home region. Both of these players are ironically from the home region, so that's what we like to see.
Just listen to them go.
Listen to this crowd. Let's go. Get those iron hands in the sky, everyone. Come on. Absolutely love to hear it. So it looks like our play is resuming. I think there might have been some clarification on whether Dynamotor was used accurately. It was. So now we are resuming off the back of Emilio's escape rope. Gabriel Fernandez, I should say, promotes the Miraidon, and Emilio is debating what to put in the active himself.
Debating, and it's looking like Greninja's turn to hop into the limelight.
Amy, we know the beach court's in hand. We might see another Ampu very much. That Radio Greninja is lightning weak.
Here we go!
Ampu very much for 4 prize cards so far. Gabriel Fernandez off to the races.
Iron Hands is certainly coming in handy in this matchup as we see another water-type Pokemon hit the discard pile.
Listen to that crowd. Emilio's going to try his best to get back in this game. Can he get rid of this Iron Hands? Needs to KO it.
He needs to deal with it now. An easy decision for the Lost Zone. 2 Battle VIP pass always makes us a little bit happy with a Comfey in hand.
We do see a Mirage Gate. So we can see some lost impact action potentially. We'll need to get 2 energy onto the Giratina V-Star. We'll need to get it into the active. Kind of needs a lost impact this turn, I feel.
Yeah, there's only 8 in the Lost Zone currently, so still cannot start Requiem.
Oh, there's another Mirage Gate.
Oh.
There's another Mirage Gate, so we are going to be able to see enough energy. But as long as Emilio has a basic energy in there, there is a water. Just the water and a Psychic as well. Okay, there's plenty of energy, right. So with that Beach Court, that Spiritomb will be able to retreat for free, so we will be able to see a lost impact into this Iron Hands. Emilio trying his very best.
Yeah, Emilio saying, right, I'm not going to let Iron Hands run away with this game just yet.
And we do see the path to the peak come down as well. Traditionally can slow down the Miraidon decks. Lost impact, lost only 2 energy. Emilio on the board. What can Gabriel do? A boss's Hoarders. Does he has the boss in hand! Gabriel is our LAIC 2024 International Champion. He's a world champion, a regional champion, and an international champion at the same time. Congratulations.
Let's hear it for Gabriel. The tandem unit that is Miraidon has driven Gabriel to victory.
Hold your head up high. Gabriel, what a fantastic performance. Piloting the Miraidon deck all the way to the final. Won the game 3 as well. Emilio, fantastic play there as well, my friend. You played that really well. But our international champion is Gabriel.
That's what we're talking about. Fantastic play from both players. We are so pleased to have you, and you'll both always be champions in my heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely spectacular. Let's hear it from the crowd.
Make some noise for Gabriel, our international champion.